So it's not every day I get to do a Build-A-Figure here in the channel. So let's have some fun with the Zamu, Shamu Build-A-Figure. Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to Disavowed Action Figures. Tonight bringing another action figure review and actually a build of the 2024 Zabu Marvel Legends action figure, Build-A-Figure. Very excited to get this thing in hand. Did not expect to have it as early as I've gotten it. I did order Wolfsbane super early, actually on eBay because it sold out on CMD store. So I got that for maybe like around $37, $38 shipped. Someone I wanted the most. Then good friend of the channel, Yo Joe Jerk, check them out, great reviews, told me that they were in stock at the local Allentown comic book store, the Encounter Comics and Games. They had the whole wave. There were multiple cases of it. I walked out just with cable because I really didn't know if I want to do the entire Build-A-Figure or not, because some other purchases I recently made. It's not going to be in Walmart. It's not going to be in Target, so I really playing the long game for clearance. Probably isn't an option with this, at least not for a long time. But then I walked into Macy's, Toys R Us. Shout out to the great RG. The G stands for great. He said he found a picture in a Facebook group that said these were showing up at Toys R Us. I went into my Toys R Us. Lo and behold, thanks to an internet deal, they were 2 for $30. So I ended up buying the final 4 figures that I needed for $60. Not bad at all, 15 bucks a figure. They weren't in the system. It was a bit of a runaround. Check out my most recent toy hunt to see how that kind of played out. But very excited to have the pieces in hand to build this guy. So if you're new to the channel, what we're basically going to do is, so considering it's a Build-A-Figure, we will take a closer look at the pieces. We'll then put it together. We'll look at the overall aesthetics once it is together, and then basically compare it to other figures within Marvel Legends and other action figure lines. And just in case you were wondering, you need 6 of the 7 figures to build Marvel's Zabu. The Superior Iron Man does not come with a piece, thankfully. Then you have Black Winter Thor, Wolfsbane, Kazar, the Red Widow, Icarus, and the 90s version of Cable, and the kind of the more updated X-Men suit from that era. So very pumped to be putting this thing together. So starting off with the 2 front legs, and I wanted to point this out before I forget, they did label these to make it as easy as possible. So you have FL, front leg, front left rather, and then FR, front right. So again, FL, FR, they did a really great job with the sculpt. The hair or fur, whatever you want to call it, came out looking very good. The bottoms of the feet have the pads, which looks really great on them. They did paint the nails. They look nice. Articulation we'll talk about in a little while, but if you wanted to see what articulates, just not to the body, there you go right there. And then the feet do swivel and up and down. So we'll probably just do that now with each piece, and we'll kind of look at it together. And again, this one being the other side, same thing, you know, similar articulation, same articulation, just looks like a mirror of the other side to me. Again, the pads underneath looking good, those nails, and again, the feet, a rocker up and down. So again, nice job with those. Looking at the 2 rear legs, which I think are slightly bigger. I guess they're thicker, at least at the top part, like up in here. Again, similar look for the fur going on. Nice texture right there. You can see we do have additional articulation here on these legs in the back, from what I can tell. So instead of just having this piece, which I would kind of sort of like the elbow, I guess, if it were a person, you get 2. So to put that down for a second, you can also see there, they do have hind right and hind left. So you get articulation right up here, goes about that far back, about that far forward. Then you have articulation down here as well. See, we can get that going. There we go. So it goes forward about that far, goes back, really not at all. And then for the foot, same thing, goes down about that far, goes up about that far, and it's on a rocker. So it's kind of a unique way to show articulation, I guess, but I kind of figured for the limbs, maybe the easiest way to do it. Then for the head looks freaking insane. Such a well done sculpt. Look at those eyes. My goodness, the eyes. They heavily alluded to, I believe, in their live stream about this wave a couple months ago, that their other Hasbro teams were kind of helping to influence this idea to do this. I'm guessing G.I. Joe Classified because their animals are awesome. The tusks, I guess you'd call them that, look very good. They're soft plastic. The teeth came out really nice and white. Same thing with the gums looking good around the side of the mouth. It is articulated. The jaw does articulate, which is freaking incredible. There's a look into the mouth. You see the pink in the back of the tongue. Again, roof of the mouth looking good. And again, just the fur looking on this thing, good. Ears came out. So again, nice job overall with this. I guess the mouth is like a separate piece, right, that goes in there. But yeah, this is so freaking cool. So well done. And then not a whole lot to show for, I mean, the torso is huge, right? So I guess we can show the articulation here in the tail. So kind of mix an articulation in here with it being this way. So we'll rotate that way. It will go up and down. It will go left and right. So a lot of different things going on with that tail. Up here, we're going to have articulation, rotation here I guess what's going to be the neck. We also get the same type of rotation going on down here. It will go in a circle, also left and right, further down in, I guess, the torso area here. And again, the fur is looking good overall on this thing. So as far as aesthetics go, looks great. As far as articulation goes, looks great. Let's say they all kind of come together and then do some comparisons. All right, so let's start with the hind leg. So here again, you can see it's labeled with the HL for hind left. So we turn it around, that'd be over on this side here. So see what kind of pop we get going on here, if at any. Ooh, got to force it a little bit. All right, no pop at all, but I think it's on there all the way. I think we're good. Yeah, so no satisfying pop feeling or anything like that, but it does go in relatively easily. It's got to apply a little bit of pressure. And then the other side, same thing. A little bit of pressure, not really, kind of more, a little bit of a pop that time, nothing crazy. But you kind of get the both in there. So again, that seems pretty secure on the back. And then we're going to come over here and pop on the front. And again, they are labeled. If you just want to be careful with it, you can. Here being the front right. So again, popping that on in the front. No real pop sound or anything once again, but it's on there pretty secure as you can see. And then going over here to the other side. Again, you can see right there, FL for front left. Hopefully that went on for you okay. We'll pop that sucker on, and that went on relatively easy as well. And this thing's so freaking huge. And finally, the last thing, the head. You can see how that's going to go in right there. Being careful not to have any problems. Just pop that sucker on. If we can get him all the way on there. I think we're good. I think he's on there. And this thing is freaking cool, man. This came out so freaking great. Wow. And there is our Zabu Sabertooth, as we refer to him on the back of the packaging, in the write-up for Kazar. And this came out freaking amazing. One of the things I like the most about the G.I. Joe Classified line are the animals. I kind of fell off collecting all the figures, but when there's an animal packed in there, I tend to grab it. This is a big, chunky Build-A-Figure for the size of this Sabertooth. Looking friggin' phenomenal, as I said earlier, in the aesthetics, and having moved it around. So here's the thing. I didn't study my poses with this. I've seen some amazing ones online already. Here you kind of have him in like a pouncing position where you can kind of lean forward at the hind legs in the back. You can kind of have him laying down on his stomach and chilling that way. The articulation allows for a lot of things here to be going on with this guy. So he'll be definitely utilized multiple ways. It's really making me wish I had a Sauron Build-A-Figure to go along with my new kind of setup here on the shelf for the Savage line for X-Men. But this guy came out really friggin' cool. We kind of moved him around already, but if you wanted to see kind of how he moves with all the pieces together, you can kind of see here again, that was together already. But as far as the legs, they will come out about that far once they're in there and popped in. We already talked about the articulation here with the, again, elbow, knee, whatever you want to call it. But you do have the multiple points for the back legs, the hind legs going on. We talked about the tail already. The head, if you want to see how the head moves on this thing, you rotate a little bit here. You can see it does rotate up and down. It's about that, articulate that far down, articulate about that far up. It will go to the sides a little bit as well as it moves its way through. And then you do get extra going on with the neck back here. So you can kind of see how that's going to turn more each way. So if you want to turn his head and then also turn the neck, you can do that. So articulation came out really great on this guy. It's really cool in general. Cards on the table, full price for this thing would not have been a problem whatsoever. I think that at full price, it would have been just as awesome as a figure. If that's the route, you wanted to go. Again, me having gotten it at the cheaper price, thanks to that Toys R Us Macy's deal, makes it that much more sweet. So let's do some comparisons with this guy, with Marvel Legends and some other action figure lines. So pulling the camera back a little bit here to allow for the comparison, have to see him with Kazar right away, right? I'm hearing people say Kazar. I think the Marvel Legends team said Kazar. To me, it's Kazar, okay? That's what they called him in the X-Men cartoon, I'm pretty sure, Kazar. So I'm rocking with Kazar. Not super thrilled with Kazar. Obviously, you needed to have him in the wave to go along with Zabu. They could have done a 2-pack. I guess it was a 3-pack back in the day with Shauna or Shada, as I sit up here talking about pronunciations. But they look great together, and you can really see the size. He's back on the hind legs here, and he's still huge. So literally, he's like 3/4 of the way, or 2/3 of the way at least, up to Kazar here, around like his chest almost. So they look really great together. Again, Savage Line shelf, X-Men, you can bring Jurassic Park figures in. Here's our other hair or fur-covered figure in the line character, being our Wolf's Bane from our X-Factor team. Looking great. We're getting to build X-Factor here with her as a part of it. And you can see that, I mean, really, Zabu a lot bigger than her, even standing straight up. But if he were to be on his hind legs, he's just a gigantic chunk of plastic that came out really good. And easily two of my favorite, possibly all-time Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures. Here are Zabu and that Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Ursa Major from a few years ago. These look freaking awesome together. You can really see Marvel Legends starting to really come around here with the possibility of having their animal characters here in our displays. And just in case you were curious what a Marvel Legends Sabretooth looks like next to a Marvel Legends Sabretooth, here are two Marvel Legends Sabretooths. And also, I'm pretty sure two Marvel Legends will show up my top 10 figures at the end of the year of 2024. So just having mentioned the X-Men animated series, here is Rogue and Evil Morph, which is the cel-shaded VHS copy, standing with Zabu. So many different great X-Men cartoons and X-Men comics taking place in the Savage Land. And some more scale. I wanted to show from the back here. Here is Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li along with Zabu. And you can see, again, just so much plastic in this Build-A-Figure as compared to your standard 6-inch figure. And here's a comparison with the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Zabu with the G.I. Joe Classified Timber. And I think all the timbers are fantastic that they've done. Great articulation for a wolf. But you can see that this is relatively in scale for what the Sabretooth cat would kind of more or less be scaling with a wolf. Much larger, and it should be. And here's a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Junkyard figure that came with Mutton Junkyard, the 2-pack from this past year, as compared to Zabu. And I just think that these animals that Hasbro are doing, they're just knocking them out of the park. Now that it's G.I. Joe Classified, now that it's Marvel Legends, they're doing a great job at this. I don't know what else to say about it. And here's a bunch of dog comparisons, because yeah, I got a thing for buying dog action figures, okay? We have the John Wick Diamond Select dog right here, unarticulated, unfortunately. Marvel Legends Cosmo from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Build-A-Figure set. And then we have our Scooby-Doo from, I believe it was Mattel who made this. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Could have been somebody else. Walmart exclusive Scooby-Doo. They did 2-packs a handful of years ago. We even have Muttley hanging out in the background. You can kind of see him back there. But these are just fun. It's a fun shelf throwing these on there together, regardless of how much their articulation or sculpts match up. And last, and as everybody loves to say, certainly not least, here is the Marvel Legends 2024 Zabu Build-A-Figure as compared to the Orange Cassidy from the Jazzwares Unrivaled line. Orange Cassidy, orange fur, might be some treats in that backpack. These guys go frolicking through town. Who knows what bad things or good things are going to happen. So final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Zabu Build-A-Figure. It's friggin' awesome. Even if you have to pay full price for the wave, it's friggin' awesome. The figures in the wave, I guess I reviewed a little bit in terms of what I thought of them being eclectic. There's some great ones in there. There's some not as great ones in there. I'm not reviewing all of them. I tend to only want to do reviews of things I really like that I'm passionate about, not stuff I'm just going to not enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, I didn't go too in-depth. I'm not too up to speed on how a Sabretooth cat, lion, tiger moves around necessarily. Just wanted to have fun with this and get it out there to the world. Again, if you have a Toys R Us with the Macy's in it, check it out. If they're there, give it a shot. It took me a while to kind of talk my way through it with the register clerk because they were not in the system yet. They were tagged, they were on the shelf, they were out on the floor, but they were not in the system. So it took them several phone calls to managers and such. Eventually they decided when they looked on the website to give it to me for the 15 per figure or the 4 for 60. But you can get this again at your local comic book stores. You can get this at the Encounter Toys and Comics if you are a local collector here in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area. You can get it from Big Bad Toy Store. You can get it from eventually GameStop and other places. So multiple stores you can pick this thing up at, but it will not be at Walmart. It will not be in Target. So get it where you can. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It does not cost you anything and helps us grow the channel tremendously and march to 6,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications because that way YouTube should notify you and tell you each time we post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over Instagram and Twitter at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 P's of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, most of all politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.